Like most paper crafters, I've got a ton of scraps, solids, metallics, pattern papers, you name it, I've got drawers of it right in that closet. So today I'm going to show you 3 fun and easy cards that you can whip up and use some of this paper stash. Let's get crafting. Got paper strips? Let's make a card with them. Now I've got a card base here and I've got a couple of different sizes of paper scraps. I've got 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. I think I'm going to use the 1/2 inch for this particular card, but really anything will work. So I've got my card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm taking the front panel and I'm going to fold it back on itself. Using a bone folder, I'm going to go ahead and burnish my fold as well as the fold for the actual card. We're going to make a quick fun fold card here. Now I'm going to use some copy paper. This is just regular run-of-the-mill copy paper, and I am going to cut myself a small template for the front of that fun fold card, and it is going to measure 2 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. Now I'm going to make this super easy on myself by using some double-sided adhesive. This is by scrapbook.com, and I do keep all of my scraps. Um, this is literally a scrap, and we're going to see if it's going to fit, and it is. So yay, we're going to go ahead and cut it down. And I am actually going to give myself permission to toss away just this little sliver from this particular piece because it's really not going to do me any good. Now these few remaining pieces are definitely going back into my little cellophane pouch with leftovers because I can make good use of those somewhere else. All right, so let's line it up. I just tear away just a little bit of a corner, line it up to both edges, and then I'm going to go ahead and remove that backing paper and smooth it down, and it should line up pretty spot on, and it does. If there's little edges, don't worry about it. So now I just need to figure out what order I'm going to place my paper strips. Some of these are kind of funky colors. That's not a true red. The yellow's kind of washed out, but it all works out really nicely in the end. So I decided that I am going to go ahead and do some sort of a rainbow order and then just repeat the pattern as needed. That figured out, it is time to remove the top part of the adhesive, but don't get rid of that release sheet. We're going to use that, and we're going to use it so we don't get our fingers in the double-sided tape. All I'm going to do is simply lay down the strips right in rainbow order. I'm going to try to be neat about it, and we'll see how it goes. Now, rather than wasting the paper strips that are currently adhered to my card, I'm going to flip it over and just cut off the remaining excess and reuse those same strips. If we haven't met, I'm Wendy from Village Card and Craft, and I want to thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me today. I am trying to reach a huge goal here. We're almost at 7,000 subscribers. My goal is now 10,000 subscribers. You guys have shown me so much love. I am overjoyed. And I'm super excited to continue to bring you fantastic content. But I need your help. So please, if you haven't subscribed, why not? It's free. Hit that subscribe button. All it does is it lets you know when I release new content to YouTube. If you are returning to my channel, you know that I love Barely Arts Precision Craft Glue. And now they have this cute little silicone stopper that works instead of the pin. So I will leave a link for that down in the description if you're interested. It was super inexpensive and totally worth it. I think you get 2 or 3 in a package. And yeah, They work great. I do have to use a little rubber band to hold down the stopper when I am gluing so that I don't get it in the glue while I'm gluing stuff on. All right, let's go to our sentiment book and shop the book because these things are already made up. We may as well use them. I knew I had some colored and decorated pieces for birthdays, and that's where this one's going. So I thought about this cute little cake, and it too has a rainbow center, a little happy birthday sentiment, and I'm just going to try to figure out what I want here. Yeah, let's go with that. All right, let's see what we're going to do. With my decorations all figured out, I've got to just decide what I want where. So I have the pieces. Now it's just where do I put them? I also have leftover scraps of shapes. Anytime I have out those dies, I go ahead and cut up whatever I have left and just stick them in the packaging. So I think that this is going to set off the happy birthday with the cake really nicely. And then I just need to figure out where inside the cake and the little sentiment that says time for cake are going to be hidden when the card is closed. Now, honestly, I made much more of a big deal about this than I should have. I should have just gone ahead, lined up the inside of the card where I wanted it, and put the circle over it wherever it fell. But I was kind of going for somewhere in the middle, so, I make myself crazier than I should. That's all I can say. All right, so when you go to cut something for your fold, just make sure that you don't put glue over the entire piece. So I'm speaking about the black circle. If you put glue over your entire black circle, you're going to inadvertently glue it to the back part of your card panel. So you want to make sure that you're only going to put glue on that little bit of a left side there. You see, I'm just using my finger as a marker. And there you have it, a quick and easy fun fold card with scraps. The second card, I'm going to use some solid scraps that I have, as well as this paper pad. Now, I don't know if this is still available, but I'm just looking for coordinating patterned paper. And I didn't have any in my scrap bin because pretty much all I have left is Christmas stuff. So here's my card base. It is going to be a 6 by 6 inch square card base. And I'm going to cut down all of my solids and patterns down to 2 inches by 2 inch square. And I need 3 of each color, 3 of each pattern. I'll be using the SIZZIX Vault Hippity Hop die set that is part of Tim Holtz's newest release, along with Vault Lovebirds. And I'm just going to be using the heart out of the Lovebirds die set. Using that larger heart, I'm going to try to find some semblance of center. I'm not measuring here, and I'm just going to use some mint tape to hold that down while I go ahead and cut the center out of all 3 of the solid colors. Now, how do you line them up? So once I cut one, I'm just going to go ahead and hold the 2 pieces together with a piece of mint tape, put my die back in, and then run it through. I'm using it like a jig. And well, then I have perfectly centered, well, as centered as they can be, uh, hearts, but they'll all be in the same spot, and that's really all I cared about. Whatever you do, don't throw away those excess hearts because we're going to use them for card number 3. So I'm just kind of trying to decide now with my pattern paper how I want these lined up. I don't want two of the same patterns next to or above or below the other patterns. So I'm just going to fiddle with it until I get it the way I like. And we're going to use copy paper once again as a template. This one will be cut 6 by 6. Okay, I've decided how I want them laid out. And once again, Fairly Art Glue to the rescue. And I'm just going to glue them all down. The 2 inches across will make 6. The 2 inches down will make 6 also. So they should line up, but they're not going to be perfect. Remember, this is handmade. It's not going to be perfect. Don't get all wrapped up in it. We're going to use some embellishments to kind of cover some of it up, and it'll all look beautiful at the end. Now it's time to put my hearts to the test here. We're going to go ahead and glue all of these down. Now, I do make a mistake, but I catch it, and thank goodness I'm not using dry adhesive. If I were using a dry adhesive like a tape runner, I would have torn it and I would have had to start all over. But because I'm using liquid glue, it gives you a little bit of wiggle room, and I think this is right where I do that. Yep. See the pink on top of the pink? It didn't go with that. So I had to match it back up with the stripe pattern that I made. I did tidy up my edges here because I had some white copy paper still exposed. So I think I probably cut off about an eighth or a 16th of an inch. So it's not going to be exactly 6 by 6, but that's okay. I'm just going to leave a little border here, and we'll add some embellishments next. And here's how I finished that. I used the Hippity Hop Bunny. The Celebrate and On Your Birthday are from my sentiment book. I stamped a sentiment on the inside, added a purple bunny, a stripe of purple, and some more patterned paper. Let me know in the comments below what's your favorite thing to do with your leftover scraps. Number 3, I'm using leftovers from the leftovers. Now this is a piece of patterned paper that you'll recognize, and the leftover hearts. And once again, I'm just going to figure out how I want them laid out. Now this card is a standard A2 card, which is 4¼ by 5½. And obviously I only had 9 hearts before. So I just dug in my paper scrap bin and made a few more hearts so that it worked out for this particular card. And I glued them down. I'm going to go ahead and adhere it to my card base. And we'll go ahead and decorate this one as well. Now I have to confess that I bought the Hippity Hop Vaulted Bunny die set because of the alphabet dies. But I love that bunny. It cuts beautifully in one shot. And I cut a purple bunny, used my happy birthday from my sentiment book. I used a small strip of the same pattern paper on the inside and stamped your It's a Day. And that's what I call 3 quick cards. If you're looking for more inspiration on what you can do for paper scraps, I'll link them right here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you real soon.